Before you buy your next midterm rental, check out this list. It is imperative that you are buying, co hosting, managing, or controlling a property, even arbitraging, that serves the marketplace with their needs. I put together a buy box that will help you identify the key things that you need to have and the type of home that you need to have to cater to the need in the marketplace. And if this is your first time watching my channel, then you know, or you may not know, and now you know that we are in the business of serving displaced families due to unforeseen events where the insurance company is paying us a premium for doing so because it is a problem that is a very niche problem to solve as there is not enough inventory. And if you stick to the end, you'll see how I actually have expanded this buy box to include an additional feature that honestly almost no homes on the market are available and have this type of home. It's just because, quite frankly, most people are not watching this video and are not catering to this type of avatar. So without further ado, it's all about supply and demand. And the reason we're able to charge a premium is because these displaced policy holders, these insurance companies who are displacing these families due to unforeseen events, need to relocate these families in like kind homes. And typically the reason why we go for the kind of buy box I will present in a second is so that we can meet them where they are and meet them with the similar type of inventory that they're coming from. And for that reason, it's important that we meet them with an opportunity or an option that is going to surpass the first layer of defense, as I call it, and that is the hotel. Typically, when an unforeseen event happens, a family goes into the hotel, but that is a very temporary solution. The next phase two of that is to find them a like kind home that they can temporarily live in until their home is either rehabbed. Again, we're talking about homes with water damage. We're talking about homes that have been burnt down. And therefore, your option, which you will charge a premium for, is actually a discount for the insurance company because their alternative, especially when we're catering to an avatar that's a larger family with pets involved, would actually cost a fortune. And we're not even talking about kennel fees, right? For the pets or that would need to be boarded throughout that time period. And of course, the emotional distress that that would incur for that family is why your option becomes the best option. So why don't we start? The ideal home from the CR/MTR insurance. When we say MTR is midterm rental is anywhere from 30 days or more, and it's typically best practice to have a furnished accommodation. That is not necessarily what the industry only looks out for, as they do have vendors that they work with to typically also furnish these homes. But we've have found that it has been one of the best, or the what you can charge a premium for is a furnished accommodation, because essentially you're telling a family all you have to do is come in with your bags and move in, nothing else. Utilities are on, amenities are, everything's included, everything is on. All they have to do is just show up with their bags, and that is why we charge a premium. So without further ado, what is the type of home? Well, let's start first with the type of product that you want. There's multiple homes, there's condos, there's townhomes, there's single family homes, and we typically focus on single family homes. It does not mean that this will not work for other types of homes. It just means that we're catering to a very specific avatar, a larger family that comes from a larger home, not necessarily a townhome, not a duplex, but a single family home. And let the features now flow, right? So the single family home, what kind of family? Single family home, we typically like ranch style homes because, right, when you're adding that to your buy box, we want to make sure it's accessible to all parties, whether there's a child with a disability or an older individual that has some physical limitations. It's actually in your best practice to have a home that can be accessed without needing to go downstairs or upstairs. It increases again, your net. You have to think of this like a net. You want to widen and cast a wider net so that you can cater to the most avatars. Could you cater to somebody with a wheelchair? Could you cater to somebody who has some physical disabilities? Could you add some grab bars in your shower? Is it a access, a walk-in shower? I mean, these are the kind of things you want to ask for. If there's steps at the front of the door, is there an accessible entrance where the lip for you to get in isn't as high as those 3 steps? Is there a way And most of our homes have that. That's why we actually love ranch style homes, bungalows. They do very well for that reason. So again, keep in mind, it's not an end all be all like, oh, my deal is not going to work. Because
if you're currently getting value from watching this video, you'll want to make sure you take a second and click below to grab the midterm rental insurance blueprint to help accelerate your process in being able to land these midterm rental insurance contracts with respect to your marketplace. Make sure you click the button below and grab it and continue on with the gems in this video.
I don't have this type of home. It's we want to cast a wider net to be able to cater to all parties. If you have a ramp, power to you, right? So bungalows, walk-in shower, I just mentioned, is one. At least have one on the main. Another one, speaking of main, how about master on main, right? So that, of course, again, you don't have to go upstairs. You could very well live on the same floor without having to even access second floor or basement. We actually had a family that they just accessed the main floor even though we had a basement. And again, the good news is, unfortunately, our laundry was downstairs, but fortunately for them, they had a caretaker who would actually be able to do laundry. But that just shows you right there, is a laundry on the same floor. One of our properties, it certainly is laundry on the same floor, kitchen on the same floor, master on main, everything's on the main floor, garage is on the main floor, everything's accessible. That home is going to increase the chances. Now that I think of it, that is one of the best performing homes that we have. It has to be that in order to cater to avatars. Do you have a fenced in backyard? Now, this is not a deal breaker because you would go to add a backyard, but are you in a position to add a fenced in backyard? Or if it has one, power to. Now you don't have to add that asset. We've added a fenced in backyards. We've bought with fenced in backyards, but that is because, again, in this space, we are pet friendly and you should be too. If you want to be able to serve families the way we've been able to serve families, which I would say at this point, we're close to probably 60-70% of the families that we serve do have pets. And that is actually where the money is made, is because pets are expensive to board. And when you have an accommodation that can house them and their family with their pets, as a matter of fact, most people consider their pets as family, it is an additional bonus that you're offering that maybe a hotel can't offer. Okay, so next, garage. People are coming with their cars, people are coming with their life to your house, right, to make their home away from home. And if you have a single family home, you probably have a garage. Now you have homes with carports, still does the trick. But keep in mind, home with a garage is going to be always a good selling point to have when you think of your buy box to have. Okay, so just to recap, we talked about bungalows, that's number one. We talked about fence and backyard, that's number two. We talked about having garage, and that's number three. We talked about master on main, that's number four. We talked about washer and dryer on main, that's number five. We talked about, or I'm going to talk about, let's talk about the backyard, right? Fence and backyard is great. What does the backyard have? Does it have a back deck? Now, if you know anything about a hybrid strategy, you know that if we're running a short-term rental and a mid-term rental hybrid, it's great for the STR strategy because it gives a place for them to hang, grill, barbecue, fire pit if you have one, etc. Again, these are nice to have, but definitely the functionality and the selling point, the value of a home, having that backyard, a place where we can gather, is another great place. Now, basement walkout is a huge bonus for me, and the only reason I say to have a basement walkout is when you think of having multiple rooms and for the value that you get for your dollar, most homes that have basements aren't considered in the square footage unless it's actually considered livable space, which means that if you're buying a 3-bedroom home and you have 2 bathrooms, maybe you have 1 bathroom upstairs and another bathroom downstairs, or maybe you have 2 bathrooms upstairs and you have another bathroom downstairs, and now you're turning that 3-bedroom home, or even that 4-3, into a 5-bedroom home because you have multiple rooms downstairs. That adds to the value of the home and add to the number of rooms that you have on a home, which is, you could easily have a 3-bedroom upstairs, 2-bedroom downstairs, two bathrooms upstairs, and 1 bathroom downstairs, and now you have a 5-3, but you really bought a 3-2, right? And that goes back to just having that walkable basement walkout adds value. It's like adding a second floor to the home, and it's a great, nice to have. It's certainly a bonus, especially if down the road you ever want to turn these homes into 2 homes. That's one of our hacks that we use, and a nice to have for sure. But now let's focus on the main thing, right? Last but not least, or I would actually say save the best for last, is how many bedrooms. We found the sweet spot to be 4 to 5 bedrooms. But I will say, and I'm going to leave a little bonus for this and for you to think about, is bigger in this case is always better. And so recently, this week, we got a large amount of inquiries for 6-bedroom homes. And the reason is there's not that many in the marketplace. Furnish Finder actually even shows its data when you start going in the 5-bedroom range, how much little inventory is available for that, because a lot of the homes even on Furnish Finder are catering to 2 to 3-bedroom homes. And so with that, we see an opportunity, or at least I see an opportunity, and you should see it too, in the marketplace where there is not that much inventory. And when there isn't that much inventory, and if a family needs to move and it's a 6-bedroom accommodation that they need, they might not only be able to drive across town to try to actually have a 6-bedroom accommodation that's fully furnished and move-in ready. And of course, for that reason, you're going to be able to charge a premium, because there certainly is not many options, especially when it comes to, this is looking on Airbnb, this is looking on Zillow, this is looking on Furnish Finder. I could not find this family in this specific zip code a 6-bedroom home. 4 bedrooms here, 5-bedroom less, and 6 bedrooms even less. So if you have the ability and there's not a huge swing financially for you to get into a 6-bedroom home, keep this in mind. You can always host a small family in a large home, but you can't host a large family into a small home. And for that reason, it's important that you go for bigger always as you can, to be able to cast a wider net. Because once you do that, again, we've had a family of 2 stay in a 5-bedroom home because it met their needs, and there was actually someone who had actually a physical disability, and that walkout shower was perfect for them, that walk-in shower was perfect for them, that 5-bedroom home made sense, and the insurance approved and paid the premium for that specific home. So if you have and include all these ideal statistics or type of features in your home, or criteria, I should say, and you give that to your realtor, you give that to your creative finance lead, whoever is boots on the ground, your wholesaler, whoever you're speaking to, or whoever you're trying to source kind of properties for, you're going to increase your chances of casting a wider net to then be able to serve more families, to then be able to charge a premium for doing so, because you have a product that nobody else has in the marketplace. And for that reason, ladies and gentlemen, just like supply and demand works, when you have the supply and there is high demand and the supply is low, and you are in control of that supply that is very little, you therefore are eligible to charge a premium, rightfully so, by law and by economics. With that said, if you got value from this video, make sure you check out my which market is the best for the mid-term rental insurance strategy.